All right, guys, here we are. This is going to be the beginning of a very long journey, and it's going to be a lot of work and take a lot of time, but I figured rather than compiling a bunch of videos and then trying to edit some monstrosity, that I would just kind of grab it in pieces and do episodes, because a lot of you guys might not be interested in everything that I'm going to do, but there will be something that you're interested in. So this is my N55 F10 build. I'm going to be doing interior, exterior, and engine upgrades. And in this intro video, I'm going to show you what I have going on right now with the car, its current state, and then also show you what plans and what stuff I have on hand right now to start working on and what's going to be coming in. So let's start with the current state of the car. All right, so the subject car is a 2011 535. This is the pre-LCI. So what that means is I have pneumatic wastegate, Continental high pressure fuel pump. So if you're an N55 on a E9X platform, a lot of the engine upgrades and whatnot that I'm doing will apply to you as well. There are some disadvantages of being pre-LCI, obviously all the bells and whistles, but we'll get into that later. So the reason why I'm building this car is because you modify what you got. I think that's just a general rule that you learn when you get into cars. People will modify anything, so just go look in the Walmart parking lot and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, with this guy here, the thing that makes this car special is right there. It's a 6-speed. I absolutely love this car. It's very comfortable to drive. I could see myself driving this from here on out, and so you know, that's kind of the plan. That's part of the logic behind sticking with this car and not getting a B58, which would be the proper car to build, I think, in this market right now. The B58s are just absolute beasts. Plus, this thing's a complete boat. So obviously I'm not going for speed. And I just love the way it looks. I love the way it handles, the way it drives, and it's fairly rare. So let's go over what we got going on with it so far. I've got a stud kit. I've got Apex Arc 8s. I did 19-inch with Michelin Pilot Sports. Got some carbon fiber rear wing, which I'll leave. I've got this guy here, and it's pretty cool looking, but there's another one out there that matches the profile of this right here that I'd like to get. And at high speeds, this thing actually starts vibrating. So I got this guy here. I'm going to try to restore it. It's pretty toast. It's actually real carbon fiber though, so I'm going to see if not, it's like 20 bucks. Spent a lot of time doing those guys. I did the shadow trim myself, painted that, sanded it down. I got videos on that. The blacked out door handles, eBay, mirror covers. These guys here, I've got replacements for these because these are faded. It's actually real carbon fiber, but it's faded. And then we've got those are OEM M5 front grills with carbon fiber. I'm going to see if I can clean those up. So there's some cleaning up to do and whatnot. Let's get into interior wise. I've got M sills. This was a non-M package, but it came with an oil cooler and the 550 brakes. I think because it was a 6-speed, it was kind of more of like a sports package, if you will. I upgraded to the LCI steering wheel. I've got a ricer rear view mirror. You guys can make fun of me for that. That's fine. I love it. It's angled, and so it gives you a good visibility. I've also got the Euro spec anti-blind spot OEM mirror, so it doesn't have this black trim around it, and it's bent so that it takes away your blind spot, so that's pretty nice. M shifter and a custom boot from this company out in, gosh, I want to say like England or something. So as far as the interior, you know, your red start button, all that little stuff. I've done a lot of cleanup, like getting these buttons done. I need to get some pedals. I've got sprint booster on it right now. It's we'll get more into the motor here in a second of where I'm at and where I'm headed. But I mean, overall, it's a pretty clean car. I've got soft closed doors and the shade package. So soft closed doors are actually really nice. So, all right, let's get into the motor real quick. All right, as far as the motor, you can see this hook on it. I've been pulling it apart. I've had other projects going on. I've got a car I'm flipping right here and some other stuff that have taken precedence. I gotta take care of my wife's minivan. But as far as where we're at with the current setup, I've got B58 Coils from Nexus Systems. When I bought these, they didn't have the kit for the earlier style. In the later style N55s, it had a different valley between the two camshafts, and so it could take, like the newer N55s can take the S55 injectors. I'm going to be experimenting with S55 injectors to see if I can get those to work, because that's going to be my next bottleneck. You know, full boost pipe package from FTP. Set up for meth, but I'm still hooking that up. I had some change of heart as far as my original plan on that. I'm at about like 100,000 miles, and as far as suspension, it's sitting on BC coilovers, modified by Redshift. I've got monoball bearings in the front thrust arms, and I've got H&R sways, and I've got, if you guys have been following me at all, you know I have a custom intake. Got some orders going out over there for the N55, and so I'm running the intake that I designed, and low pressure fuel pump. Yeah, let's get into that. Actually, I've got a 535 Hellcat Walbaro, so it can run full E85, and then my EKP, I've got heat sinks and a fan on it. I'm also, to my knowledge, was the first F10 for the MHD full canbus flex fuel analyzer from BimECU. I still have to do my video on that. So I'm basically full E85 compatible, and I have, I'm custom tuned by David Shoup. So when I get to 100% meth and start doing my E-tune, I'm going to continue to be tuned by David Shoup. All right, so that's kind of where it's at. I think that pretty much covers everything. Can't think of very much else. So a little bit of cleanup to do, but we got a good starting point. Hey guys, I put everything away, and I knew I would do this. There's going to be tons of stuff I forget. UUC short shift kit, a M Factory lightweight flywheeled NF550 clutch as far as the drivetrain modifications right now, and then I've got a polyurethane bushing on the shifting linkage as well too. So I think that is it. I'm going to try to put a list in the bottom of the video of everything so I can kind of document everything that's going on. So let's jump over to the fun stuff. Let's get into what I've got on the bench over here as far as upgrades coming. So mentioned the meth kit. I've got a 7.5 gallon tank that I'm putting in the rear in the trunk. I've got the S55 oil pan with baffling, oil pump, and secondary oil pump, so I'm excited about that. If you're unfamiliar with that, this comes on the M2, I believe, and obviously any other S55 equipped vehicle. S55 is a cousin of the N55, obviously closed deck, all kinds of other fancy upgrades. But so that is supposedly plug and play. We'll see how that goes. While I'm in there doing the oil pan, I'm going to do rod bearings. And the reason why I'm doing all that is because I've got a brand new fresh PS2. So that will be fun as well. I've got the Spool Helix Overdrive 3X. Like I said, if you're on an earlier N55 or a E9X N55, this will be similar build. TurboSmart blow-off valve, VVT vented oil cap. Like I said, the FTP full boost kit, boost pipe kit. I've got a full Stop Tech big brake kit. I'm gonna get those guys powder coated red so it goes with everything else on my car. Got some blue stuff. So I've got the shortened sway bar end links, and these are interesting. These are adjustable upper control arms, which you will not find for the F10. Found them on the forums. They were made as one-offs by a drift company in China. I guess some guy in California had an M5. His cousin runs the company. He had them custom made for his M5, but they built them to the spec of a non-M F10. So he sold them on the forum, so they're virtually brand new. He basically put them on, they didn't work, and so he took them off. So that's kind of pretty rare, pretty sweet find. And then Power Flex rear diff bushing. I'm going to be putting that in. And of course my H&R sway. And here's one of my intakes and pieces. Let's see, there's one that's put together. So that pretty much does it for the motor. Trying to think if I have anything else. Oh, I've got a GPlus Intercooler. Obviously, full stage Armytrix exhaust, catless downpipe, Armytrix. With that, you guys saw the theme over here. I've got a lot of M stuff. So let's talk about some of the exterior real quick. I've got an M Sport bumper right here. I've got the diffuser coming in. I'm doing gloss black on the diffuser. I've got matching color match side skirts already with extensions. The extensions and the piece that I'm going to do around the diffuser, besides the actual diffuser itself, the piece that, those are all going to be a gunmetal, dark gunmetal gray, so they match the color of the wheel of the cars. So you'll see the strip here. I'll have extensions off the bumper on the sides right here, and then the diffuser piece you'll see a gray line that goes through, and the actual black diffuser will stay gloss black. So it's going to have a little bit. I hate this hydro dripped, so I'm probably going to paint this, or maybe even color match it to that. And then for the front bumper, since I don't have an M Sport, I've actually got this guy right here. So I'll throw a picture up right now of what it looks like when it's done and painted. Gonna have a front lip for it. Up there, it's kind of hard to see, but it's a 3-piece lip. And I'm gonna do that because it's hydro dipped, cheap plastic. I would rather have something painted than fake carbon fiber. I just feel like fake carbon fiber, it's like either you should go real or go home. That's just kind of my opinion. But so that'll be done. Let's see what else we got around here. That's pretty much it on that. All right, so now let's so that's motor and that's exterior. I am planning on doing some sort of carbon fiber front hood, like a E90 GTS style hood. And then the rear trunk, I just bumped it the other day, and so it's got a scrape on it. So, of course now I need to get a carbon fiber one, so I might do that. And then I'm doing M-tips, dual M-tips, GTS tail lights, smoked. And then eventually, I haven't decided if I'm doing the Bay optics. They're just so friggin' expensive. But I got to do the red demonized hexagon blacked out. I don't know if I'm going to do them myself yet or not, but obviously I'll have a fog light delete with a new bumper. So it's going to look sick. I totally can't wait. Okay, so that's everything for engine exterior. Now interior, you guys seen all this stuff laying around here. So I picked up a full black interior because I can't stand the tan interior that I got. And when I did that, I got a couple goodies with it. I am going to be wiring in this heads-up display, and already have the wiring schematics for that. It's very doable, possible. So I've got that. I've got a 6WB fully digital cluster on the way. All the door cards, black. What I don't have here, and what you'll see is this came off, the A, B, and C pillar were all gray, and I've got gray pieces. Now obviously that isn't going to look very good with a tan headliner. So the plan is, during the interior swap, is that I'm going to get all of this Alcantara wrapped, the ABC pillar and the headliner. And if I take it out and take it to the shop, it's actually very affordable, like literally a couple $100. Also, the rear deck that I pulled it from does not have the shade in it, and so I actually kind of need to keep my old deck, and because I'm going to keep it, I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of. Now, seat belts with a full black interior. I'm kind of keeping with the theme and the color accents. I'm probably going to be doing red seat belts. They're pretty expensive. I'm going to look into potentially dyeing these, pulling them and dyeing them myself. So that's something that I might do. Just got to see how the budget works out. All this work doing yourself, you save a ton of money. Like, I don't even want to tell you what I got this. It had a blown airbag, and consequently that tore the backer on this. But if you're, you know, it was $50 for a new airbag and $50 for a new backer. You know, just make them an offer on eBay. People aren't, you know, buying these things up like crazy, so it's pretty easy to find some of these parts, and if you make an offer, usually the junkyards or whoever's selling them will let them go. So we're looking at full black interior with Alcantara. Also, I'm doing a full touch 11.2 inch touch display so that I can run my MHD on my touch screen. I'm getting rear heated seats, so I'm going to retrofit that. I cut off as much of the wiring harness as I could. I just got to wire that back to the battery, and it's pretty much just a switch on the rear of the center console. And I'm getting rear folding seats. So getting a lot of upgrades to it. And then finally, the trim package is this dark walnut that came with this. It's pretty dirty sitting out here. But anyway, I think I'm going to go piano black. Piano black in an F10 is pretty rare. Carbon fiber is ridiculously expensive OEM. I think if you try to get a trim package out of a junkyard, if they even have a clue what it is, it's like $1,200-$1,300 for like 5-6 carbon fiber pieces. So the piano black trim you can get for like $400, and I think it would go well with the blacked out theme that I'm going for. So, all right. Oh, sound. I just put a deposit on a Rockford Fosgate and BAV sound system upgrade that I found used on Facebook, and so that's going up. The subs, the 8-inch subs underneath the seats, will be 150 watts up to 300 watts with an upgraded plug and play. I think it's BimmerTech amp, and then I've got this Rockford Fosgate 12 that I'm going to put back there too, that is a powered sub, which is fairly plug and play as well. So in the trunk I'll have that tank and a sub, and so that's it, I think, for sound. But that will completely replace the full stock sound system. So all this I'll be doing here at my house on my free time with my dog, and with my wife yelling at me for spending too much time in the garage on my lift. So we'll see if I can fab up. That's another thing I'd like to do, is I continue with the suspension. I live on the top of a mountain, got some great driving road. I'll be doing some subframe reinforcements. There's a company out of Malaysia that sells them, but they're way too expensive for what they are. They're just basically steel reinforcements that bolt into stock locations underneath your subframe. They kind of replace factory reinforcement, so I'll probably be doing that. And then obviously eventually I'm going to need to go LSD, but that's like off the calendar. I don't know when that's going to happen. That's not going to happen anytime soon. And then finally, eventually I'll probably sell my PS2 if I still have the desire to build on this thing and do a top mount turbo and maybe build the bottom end. You can get, you know, an N55 from a junkyard for probably like $500 or $600 now if you look hard enough. And so to have one on an engine stand and go through it would be very, very feasible. So when you do all this stuff by yourself, I mean, by no means is this anywhere cheap, but it's actually not as bad as you would think. Some people will be like, I'll have less into this car when it's done, and if I get the S55 injectors, I should be well into 600 wheel horsepower. So as long as I can beat Hellcats, then I'm going to be happy. But this thing's going to look sick. It's going to handle amazing. It's a 6-speed, so it's rare. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. But anyways, if you have any questions, if you need anything, need any advice, help, whatnot, obviously I build stuff. I'm getting a 3D printer soon, so some improvements are coming out for the intake. I'll be able to probably build some interesting stuff for my build as well with my 3D printer. Just hit me up, man. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it, and hope to see you in the next episode.